Hello guys, this is Axe once again, and I'm gonna give my review on Wrestlemania 30 because I did watch it. I subscribed for the WWE Network. Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna give my review, but I'm not. But for this one, I'm not gonna do all of it in one sitting. So it's just gonna be in parts. Make it easy for me, and of course, probably make it easy for you. But what I'll be doing is I'm going to give my thoughts and review on the matches. First of all, what do I think about WrestleMania 13 overall? Well, I would say the first thing that pops in my head is yes, 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 and it was really worth watching. That I can say is that even the main event was worth watching, especially if you're a fan of a certain rookie. It's definitely was worth watching. I was like, yes, it made me interested. I was watching it, focusing it. It's not like I'm doing something else. And I'll talk about that in the later part. But first, I'm going to give my review on some of the matches. Well, first, I'm going to talk about the pre-match, the pre-show, the four-way tag team for the belt. For that one overall, I think the wrestlers actually showed some moves. It was sort of entertaining. You know, they were doing their moves, and some of them, and some the wrestlers, they were doing their signature move. I mean, it does tend to get chaotic, but that's what the four-way is. You know, once in a while, sooner or later, you know that you're gonna hit someone. Someone goes out, someone goes in. They do their move, and you have that pattern in the same pattern. So the Usos, let's see, Ryback and Chris Axels, the Real American, El Matador, and they did a good job on the wrestling, the performance. It was actually entertaining. It wasn't really very exciting, but it kept me watching them to some extent. But in the end, yeah, I guess I wasn't really surprised that the Uso was going to win again because I mean, they did win the belt. I can't remember when, but I mean, they didn't have it that long yet. So I mean, that would be not. It wouldn't be really right to lose it from there. But it was also predictable. So yeah, but I mean, one of the best thing always is that is that of course is Cesaro. This guy's really becoming popular in wrestling. A lot of people like this guy. I mean, he was in NXT, and one of his best moves that people love is the Cesaro swing, which is a giant swing. A fictional move. It's not something you do in real life. This is something like in a video game, but you know, they're professional wrestlers. They know what they're doing. Just God bless their body so that someone won't get injured doing it because, again, it is not a real move, but, you know, props to Cesaro. That was actually awesome what he does. So, again, in overall, like I said, the performance was good. It kept me interesting, but it wasn't really exciting. Because I had a feeling that, yeah, the Uso was going to win, but, you know, that it's not bad. So, that wasn't a bad match. So, I give that one, I give it a 7 out of 10 because they were doing some moves. There were some funny moments, but in the end, it was going to be predictable that the Usos was going to win. All right, so WrestleMania started. Before even the first match started, there was of course the host of WrestleMania 30, Hulk Hogan, coming in talking about WrestleMania 30, and he made some mistake. It was entertaining, and what happened was is during the Mercedes Superdome, but because we're talking about certain WrestleMania, especially WrestleMania 3, when they were in the Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan. Twice he accidentally said the word Silverdome, Silverdome. And when the fans corrected him, it was like, oops, what I meant was Superdome. And because of it, it became a running gag for a while. And even it went to Raw, but I'll explain that later. And yeah, he was talking about WrestleMania, and then Awesome goes in, talking about that, yeah, this is awesome, WrestleMania 30, talking about Hogan, that's respect. And that's interesting. Austin and Hogan. I really never seen them together. I think it's the first time, and probably before, but I can't really remember. And then, of course, the third guy comes in, The Rock. So, again, talking about WrestleMania, talking about Silverdome and Superdome. It became a running gag, but it was interesting to see all three of them there just talking about WrestleMania to start the show. And I think that's a good idea to, to get started with the hype, because those are the big three wrestlers. They're legends. Three of them held championship belts. Three of them are big namer, and three of them represent an era of WWE. Hogan was the 80s era. He was basically what John Cena is now. Rock is or Stone Cold, some sort of anti-face heel character in the Attitude Era. Same goes with The Rock. Very entertaining, the most electrifying guy in wrestling. Very entertaining. Again, those big three. So imagine them if they actually were to wrestle, but, well, except for The Rock, but the other two really can't wrestle. And that's the reason why WWE games exist, so you can do it on the video game. And nothing personal. Old wrestler should not really wrestle. Sorry. Just passing the torch. That's the thing. Alright, so then the first match finally comes. Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. And whoever wins the main event, WrestleMania 30. So, it's ready. Okay, what do I think about this match? I guess I have to say first that Daniel Bryan, I guess Daniel Bryan is a very inspiring wrestler that a lot of people like him. And before I'm going to give my review about this match, I'll give you a backstory about Daniel Bryan. From what I heard, again, I may like WWE, I'm a fan, but I'm not so much of a wrestling expert. Like, I don't know a lot of the lore and history. I knew fans that more than I do. And I really don't know about the 80s wrestling or even before that. A lot of people do. Even Game of Horizon do. They know their 80s history wrestling. I don't. That's why I'm watching the network, trying to understand it. So, excuse me. So basically, in the beginning, of course, NXT, Daniel Bryan. So I really never heard of the guy. But when I did a lot of research, and I talked to some of my friends about it, that Daniel Bryan apparently is a well-known wrestler. In the beginning, in the WWE universe, they don't know who he is yet. But in the wrestling, just the inner circle of wrestling, they know this guy. This guy actually was well-known, well-respected, and the guy was very inspiring to the rest of them. People really like this guy. This guy is actually, and I mean, other wrestlers even knows him, such as AJ Styles from, well, I don't know if he still works at TNA, I think there's something, knows him. Some other, AJ Styles knows him, some people knows him. And I wouldn't be surprised if, well, famous people or wrestler knows him. I mean, he basically won a lot of championship, of course, at the time, not the WWE, but yeah, he was very inspiring. I mean, he was very inspiring. People love him. That he actually has a special Legend of Wrestling episode, The Journey to WrestleMania by Daniel Bryan. I mean, this guy's like he's the little Mac of wrestling. I mean, like every time I see this guy, it's like I'm like, man, this is really interesting. This guy has potential, and I know some of my friends say, "Oh, he's not really championship material." You know what? Whatever. But it's really just this guy's really inspiring, and I really hope WWE won't screw him up. I mean, they already screwed him up once, and hope they won't screw him again twice. And just also, if you are subscribed to the WWE Network, I would highly suggest to watch Daniel Bryan Road to WrestleMania. It's really interesting. I watched it. It was actually interesting. It's just really so like he's like the very first NXT who basically won a lot of championship. Whether he was a bad guy and a good guy, I mean, I guess that's his character, but that's actually who he is. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't even know who this guy is, like how's his character, and now it's like he could be the next in line, the face of WWE, like John Cena. So, kudos to Daniel Bryan. Yes, yes, yes. Wow. So, anyway, back to my review. Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. So the match was actually good. Performance was actually good. They were doing moves, and they weren't even sloppy with the move. I mean, the execution was good. No botched up or anything. They were just doing. It's a kid who never give up, and I had a feeling that Daniel Bryan needs to win this because if he doesn't win, of course, WWE fans would riot. So I had a feeling he was going to win, just because of a lot of the hubbub what's going on. But again, like I said, the performance was good. There was no botch up. They executed right. It was beautiful. It flowed for what it is. And I was surprised that Daniel Bryan basically was able to kick out on the pedigree because he's a kid who never gives up no matter what. Even if he's injured, he never gives up. He always fights. He never gives because he has the heart of a wrestler. He has the passion. And of course, in the end, I knew it. He was going to win. Daniel Bryan is going to be in the main event. So I give this one a 9 out of 10. Not too perfect because there was some mishaps in some part, but overall, like I said, execution, it flowed, the moves, there was no botch up. It was actually entertaining to watch. I was focused. I was really focused on it. So it was a good match to watch. And it was basically interesting. Well, I'm going to stop here for now. And the next time it's going to be, if I can remember, the next one's going to be The Shield versus Kane and the New Age Outlaw. I'll be talking about that. And I think what's next after that? The Andre Over the Top. So that's it for now. I'll see you guys later.